Before we even start, this video is going to piss you off. Because if you're the type of man who allows his emotions to hijack his ability to act or take action, you're already losing. But if you stay with me, I'm gonna show you how to convert the chaos into clarity through content. This is how you reclaim your law. If you're new here, my name is Dwight Brown, otherwise known as Mr. Brown. I built a six-figure agency, and within my first year of business, I did $350,000. You do not do those type of numbers off of your first year by sitting around and not taking action. Year two, we did 500,000. The year after, we did 700,000. You must understand that the actions taken by myself in a leadership role is what brought me and my team to the top of the top of the top. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, nor close to where you want to be. But to start business and coming out of a 9-to-5 with zero understanding of how to operate, these are the key things you need to get embedded into your system. Get right into it today. Action over emotions. The number one thing that you have to do is take action. When I was putting Coke bottles on a shelf thinking I was going to be at Coke forever, the number one thing I had to do was take action. I brought my laptop with me every single day, put it in the car, on my work break or my lunch break, took my computer out and took action because I had a goal, a direction to understand that, okay, cool, to get there I have to take practical steps. You don't just leave your job and end up in the entrepreneurship lifestyle. No, and especially when you come from zero experience, you're not gonna know what the fuck to do. But the only thing that you really can do is take action. So while working, I'm studying, I'm listening, I'm looking up the fucking videos to see what is going on. How do I change my current reality? Similar to probably what you're doing by watching this video. And so I took that information and understood, okay, shit, well, you have to act. And I was already a competitive guy. So I'm like, okay, great. You have to just up it up, like turn it up. Don't feel bad for your situation after you were the reason why you're there. And so what did I do? I took that information and I acted upon it. I didn't get in my emotions because I didn't like the feeling that the video gave me. No, I took action. And hey, 3-4 years later, top of the top of the top in the 1%. And you can too, but you have to take action. Point one, emotion without direction is decay. Feeling too much does not make you deep, it makes you stagnant. Emotional men don't build, they spiral. You feel everything but do nothing. And I want you to understand that the algorithm is not gonna reward your moods. It rewards value, and vision. And as I will always tell you in each video, the thoughts that you have will give you an emotion. And some of you get stuck in the emotional realm and don't push that into taking action. And then your actions create your reality. I push onto you the simplified version of the law so that you can better understand how you can use it in a practical way. Every thought that you have, right? You're getting a thought from watching this video. That's going to evoke an emotion. That emotion is either gonna rattle you and make you feel like you wanna run away, or you should lean in. And okay, cool, so now you're leaning in. Now that you're leaning in, the more value you get out of the video and the more emotions you feel that push you and give you motivation. I don't need you to pull that motivation and only work when you feel motivation. You have to then take that feeling and implement it in your everyday action by discipline. I push the laws of the realm because you are a masculine man looking to generate revenue and get out of the position you're in current. But you cannot do that by just sticking into this emotional feeling and not acting. Like I said before, when I'm putting up the Coke on the shelf, I'm mad as fuck, bro. I don't want to be there. But I understood that the only way I'm gonna get out of here is if I take actual movements to getting out. So I got my laptop. Not the best at the time, but hey, it got the fucking job done. And I was doing content for almost 8 years in front of a camera. Didn't need any coaching on that side, but all I needed to do was take action. So what you're doing now is you feel all these emotions, this motivation, you feel good. You might hear someone speak great in a YouTube video, you might watch a reel, you might watch a short that is pushing you in a certain direction, and that motivation gets you amped. And then you're like, yep, I'm gonna do it. And then you stop. Or as soon as the motivation wears off in a couple hours, you stop. Or as soon as you hit a wall or a hurdle or something that makes it difficult, you lean on your emotions once more and say, fuck, well, the motivation's gone. Now I'm dealing with frustration. I'm not going to move forward. And that's that's your number one problem. Your emotions are stopping you. Let go of your emotions. Tap into disciplined actions. Along with not taking action, you're still in your emotions. You don't realize that the chaos is disguised as sensitivity. What the fuck? The world is telling you, ooh, cry, it's okay, it's brave to cry. You're a masculine man, you should cry. You've been crying for years and you're still stuck. Get out of the fucking bullshit they got you programmed to believe in. You've been crying for years and you're still stuck. Wake up. This is a fucking pipeline dream that you must throw out in the fucking garbage. You are a masculine man, and while you are allowed to cry, do it strategically. Do not cry. we got some of our, and I'm gonna just call niggas out now at this rate. You got Jordan Peterson crying on fucking television, making you feel like it's okay to cry on a platform, at one of the biggest platforms. Bro, take all of that tears and all that emotional, overwhelming feeling and get that shit on the back burner. And when you get to the crib and it's time to journal and do all your fucking hacks, your spiritual hacks to keep you moving forward, that's when you let it all out. Let the emotions out into a book that you can then come back and read to help you get through a hurdle later down the road. The things that you write will help you get through later down the road. Write to yourself in a later tense. But do not just in public or on podcast or on television or in open, just start bawling because you get emotional. Understand your emotions are something that you can tap into and let go of. And that's exactly how you must operate. Allow the thoughts to come in and let go of the ones that don't align with you. Allow the emotions to come in. Understand what they're saying to you and then move accordingly as long as it's towards your general goal. Because all this crying shit and sensitivity that they tell you need to be is just weakening your nervous system so that when you get into business, you get into confrontation, you get into these frustrational pits, you then lean on your emotions and you get nowhere. And worse, you might degrade your current position, and you don't want to do that. Having emotions are fine. Letting them out at the wrong time is detriment. It is decay to who you are. Your content must reflect who you are. Because as we go into this digital age that we're already sitting in, we're about to enter into an AI realm that if you're not prepared for that, you're losing. So you have to take all of these emotions and use it as a container. Use content as a container. When you're about to cry, record. Don't always just journal. Record yourself. This doesn't need to be let out to the public. But one of the tips that I would give you is that I had some emotional fucking times in my solitude while putting up bottles on a shelf at Coke. And the one thing I wish I did, instead of just journaling my experience, was recording it. Because at this current time, there are a few videos I have that can show you that life is hard. Life punched me in my fucking jaw for years. And that's where all this power comes from, because I went through it. And so therefore, when you start to record yourself, not only do you give yourself something to look back on, to see the actual hard times you got through when you end up in another hard time later down the road, but you give inspiration to others that may be feeding off of your growth, which is a good thing because now you ignite other men to realize the spark within themselves. Content, your personal branding. Clients love to see self-development because that means they can trust you. If you're feeling this and you know you've been holding back, there's no more time for silence. The blueprint is your entry point. It's not theory. It's the weapon you never had growing up. It's the law you wish your father gave you. Point 2, hope without action is delusion. You keep saying it's gonna get better while also avoiding the thing that you must do to make it better. You don't need healing, you need structure. Law. Why I enforce law and structure onto you is because when you join my ecosystem, this is not about just making money. The money will corrupt you. It will show you who you truly are. And if you are not ready to handle that level of money, you're going to destroy yourself. And so stop thinking money, 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 money. Think structure. Understand, the better your structure is, when the amount of money comes, you will be able to harness it. Bro, that first year, when I went from $3,000 a month to $30,000 a month in a week, 2 weeks, I felt like I was on top of the world, but my nervous system wasn't regulated just yet. It was better than most, but it wasn't regulated all the way. So what do you end up doing? You change lifestyle. You start to look for the bitches. You start looking at new car. You start doing the things that will corrupt your money in the long run. So it's not about hope. It's about understanding what you must do to change your current position. And a lot of that is built within the structure you have. A lot of your life changes dependent upon the structure, not on anything else. The structure you have to garnish the abundance that comes when you have a better structure and system will keep you going longer. And so that healing that you're looking for only is healing is when you convert that into content. Don't just write shit down. Don't just go in a corner and let time pass. No, build a system and structure so that you have not only documents and years upon years upon years of the hurdles and the lessons that it taught you to get over. You have now almost made like a bank worth of yourself telling yourself what to do and what not to do. Better acting you so that when you end up in the position that you need to be in, you can then draw back on those videos. What do you think? I make these videos just for you? Bro, I watch these videos every morning as soon as I wake up. Why? It embeds it into my subconscious to continue in the right direction. And so you have to do that for yourself you don't need to broadcast those. You can literally keep those stashed away so that when you actually do come to broadcast in front of people, you are now better apted to help them. You're giving them value. The same value that you're giving yourself, you then turn it into a lesson that works for the goal that you're trying to attain and giving it to the people so they see that you're on a goal, you're on a mission, and here's the lessons that I'm learning. And if you can take any, take it for yourself and do the same. And so this hope and healing without movement is just a trap. I understand society continues to tell you it's okay, healing, mental health, healing, mental health. Let me tell you something. If you ever heard it before, let me be the first one to tell you. You are a masculine man and need to double down on your disciplined structures and your systems to regulate your emotions so that you can take action towards the very goals that you say you want to get towards. I don't care if you have a 9-to-5, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business, I don't give a fuck what realm you sit in. If you have weak structures, you are going to fail. And in the life of business, if you have weak structures, you will get eaten alive. The systems that you are overlooking, the things that you must do that you are overlooking, the standards that you refuse to reinforce, the weaknesses that you refuse to work on, are the very things that will fuel your downfall. Do you think that everybody in business wants you to rise? Do you think you won't have enemies that want to see your demise? Do you think you won't have opportunities in business partnerships that you have to be able to click at a certain speed? Because the people around you are working at such a rapid pace that you must keep up. And if you allow those weaknesses to be your hindrance, they will drop you. And that means what? Your bottom line falls through, which means your livelihood falls through, which means you also have no fucking back. You don't have a safety net as an entrepreneur. So you have to be able to regulate yourself. This is why I go against all of the codependency as it relates to being with a therapist. Fuck your therapist. Sit in line with yourself long enough to have a structure that can regulate itself, because when you go into business alone. It's a war. And yes, you will meet associates and allies and people that you'll do partnerships with. But if you're not good with your word and sticking up on and if they can't trust you and you're in your end of the bargain, you're going to lose a lot of the fucking opportunities that will be placed in front of you. You must take action and stop hoping. These opportunities don't just get placed onto you. Use the laws of the realm to bring the opportunity to you by focusing on it long enough, but also taking action. That is what controls your vibration, which is your frequency. So if you want certain opportunities, you must vibrate at that frequency to bring it to you. Then realistically, you're matching it. You're coming up from down here to meet it. And then you'll start to see opportunities come right in front of you. So use content as your digital altar to keep you in line, to reinforce your message, to reinforce your understanding. Because there is something, what I want you to try is there is something that happens when you hear yourself telling yourself a command. You don't hear it from your father, you don't hear it from any external person, you don't hear it from me, but you hear it from yourself in your tone that resonates with you at the frequency you're currently at. You will hear gems come out of your mouth that you've never thought you could have uttered. And those are the exact gems that will turn and ignite your flame. So that revenue that you're looking for, that increase in cash flow, that business, converting your content into money, all stems from you taking action. Let go of hope. It doesn't exist. Take action and make the hope come to reality. 3. Fear is a mirror for the unposted man. You fear being seen because you don't lead yourself. You're not afraid of content. You're afraid of being judged by your lack of law. Men fear the camera because it exposes your drift. A lot of you don't want to stand up in front of a camera to make a video, not only for yourself, but maybe for your audience. And if you're trying to make an audience, you have to do the content. But a lot of you are scared to get in front of a camera, not because it's hard, but because it exposes you in all of the things that you fear or run from. And so you have to start moving. You have to start taking the time out to try. Living in law in the way that I explain it to you in every video, and having a structure that is disciplined, will help your camera presence on a different level. Why? Because you have nothing to run from. If you are doing the work, take it this way. If you go to the gym, your body is now in shape, which means you're a better looking man than you were the day before. If you groom yourself and work on your image, you change the way that you look, you make yourself more appealing, not only for women, but people want to see attractive people speak. What the fuck? If I look like a gargoyle, you wouldn't want to sit here too long. Fuck this ugly nigga on my screen for. Just true. Attractive people like to look at attractive people. That's fine. So the better you work on your image, the better you look, the better you are at attracting people to just watch you. Not only for what you say, but just to look. I gotta at least be able to look at you. So if your image is intact, then you also don't fear to be on camera. Then if you're reading and you're doing your journaling or your meditations, it'll show that your nervous system is still. You don't fear too much. You don't got too much anxiety on camera because you're in yourself. Imagine, let me make this very clear to you. I am speaking to a camera right now, which means I'm solo. I'm by myself. There is nothing else but me and my words. So if you can't stand still within your own self long enough, not only to feel confident in the way that your body's structured, not only to feel confident in your image, but to hear the thoughts that are coming at you and then articulate them to nobody. You're talking to yourself, which a lot of you don't want to do because you can't stand still by yourself. Your mind goes rapid. So you see how the camera is literally a mirror for most of you. You have to take the time out to understand your positioning and then fix it. I tell you right now, your fear is not a stop sign, it's a torch. And we've spoken about this before. If your thoughts equal your emotions, if you have a thought like, fuck, I'm new to being on camera. Fuck, I don't want to do it. That evokes an emotion of fear because you've never done it. In whatever facet it comes in. Anxiety, fear, it doesn't matter what emotion comes. You think that, fuck, I can't be on camera because I've never been on camera. I don't really know how this is weird, whatever. So it evokes an emotion of fear. That fear either leads you into the labyrinth or away from it. And a lot of you run from it when realistically it just gave you a torch to say, walk forward. So go forward even when you're not ready. Your nervous system is going to rattle when it's confronted by something unfamiliar. That is perfectly fine. It is the human experience. Allow it to come over you. Understand that your structure must be able to discern the emotion in the thought and then give you a specific action coded to bring you towards a certain goal. And then just start walking. Simple. Do it before you're ready. Your first videos are gonna look like shit, but that's fine. You have to build a brand. You have to build yourself. You are a walking billboard of the brand. The brand is you. You are your brand. You're so ready to rep other brands, designer brands, regular brand, doesn't matter. You're ready to rep everybody else but yourself. And that is a part of the problem. If you have a system that regulates yourself first, being your own brand is no problem, because now you're exuding everything that your brand stands for. You go to the gym, great, you stand for discipline. You look good in image, great, you have a standard to life. You speak well, great, you're an intellectual. Or whatever along the realms you want to broadcast to the world, you must become. So burn through your hesitation, and when you feel all those emotions wave over you, get rid of them, because the only way you're going to build a system or a company that brings you money to leave your 9 to 5 is if you do it before you're ready, if you take all of the signals of fear as confirmation of going forward. I wasn't ready. And look how much money I generated within my first weeks of business. Quick. It was a quick turnaround. Why? Because over time, I understood that, okay, cool. Your image matters. You are your brand. And you must act as if you already have the thing and work backwards. But that requires a big structure. So no wonder why you want to jump on your computer every single day while you're at your fucking lunch break. And even though you have to drive 2 hours to work and 2 hours back, didn't give a fuck. I still made time to work for the structure. So that now when I rose my frequency to the highest notch that it could be in that position, the abundance had to come. It had no choice. I'm meeting the opportunity at its own frequency, and I also have a structure to contain it. What the fuck else was there left to do? Besides take the action to go get the opportunity. The opportunity don't come to you. You might meet the frequency to open the door, but you still have to walk in. So I had to go out. Went everywhere to find clients. Next thing you know, 28 days later, after I got rid of my distractions in the first ebook that was free a couple months ago that I showed y'all, when I got rid of the distractions, the only shit that was left was for all the money to drop on my table, right? And I had a structure to contain it. You have to take action and use yourself as your own billboard. Speak to your clients with giving them the right energy and full understanding that this man is about business and we can trust him, which is why your body must be in shape, your image must be up to par, and the way you speak must be articulated correctly to evoke the right emotions in the right situations to get the money that you are looking for from your client and be able to translate your value to them. All of this is important, and the better you get at speaking to a camera with nobody around, when someone's right in front of you, it's no problem. I do this all the time. Content is your only way out. We are almost at the end. We are almost at the end, bro. So you have to understand, like, you are at a very critical tipping point. I think you got 3 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years max to get your shit together fully. Not questionably, fully. And content is the only way you're gonna do that. Because everyone needs it. It's your signal. Like it literally is your signal. You sit there and scroll every single day and see content creators all day long. And not necessarily that you need to be this crazy content creator. You can be whatever you want to be. But hey, you see what's happening? You must start to become a producer. Stop being a consumer. Producer. It's literally your signal. It's going to be your income, and it's going to inevitably be your legacy. If I die tomorrow, I have 1,000+ videos of who I was and what I stood for. That will help and inspire people for times to come until they take these shits down. You have to build a catalog, a library for yourself. And then the masses will come and watch you and be inspired by the fact that you took the time out to produce. And it is literally your golden ticket out. Stop sitting in your feelings, hoping life gets better. Build something. Start with content. Click the blueprint, read it, apply it, and document it. That's how you turn your pain into pay. Emotions don't make you powerful. What you create in the face of emotions does. If you feel everything but post nothing, you're invisible. Law says, feel what you must, but move regardless. And when you move, you let the internet feel it or be forgotten. Consider yourself warned.